Good evening, folks. Welcome back to UndercoverET. If you're new to the channel, welcome. This channel, it's all about the evidence, okay? So record the skies, submit the evidence into me, undercoveretuk@gmail.com. If it's any good, it does make the channel. I analyse it. I do enhancements, all that stuff. People have been sending in over the past year, and we've had some amazing captures, guys, and we've managed to pinpoint on the maps exactly where they are, how frequent they are. People have built their credibility up with me. We've done interviews. If you haven't watched the latest interview, please do. It's probably one of the more compelling ones that I've done. They've all been really good, to be honest with you, but when you've got evidence there and you've got testimony from the person who took the footage, telling you in detail what he was, doing in the moment, what he saw himself, guys, it's worth a watch. And it should encourage more people to film those skies. And this is the goal. This is what we're trying to do. We're trying to go above and beyond the authority and just show people what's out there. It's as simple as that. And it's not just my channel that's doing it as well. Please give Custodian File a follow. Many other channels out there, guys. Just keep watching my show and I will tick them off each and every week. You'll see exactly who we're talking about, why you should give them a follow, and why the evidence is important, okay? And it's all about just knowing really who to trust in a world full of liars, full of misinformation, full of AI and CGI. We just, we have to be careful, guys. So that's what it's all about. This is why I've created the channel, to create some transparency and to show the people what's really out there. So if you can get behind that, please hit the subscribe button. It's free to do, and consider a membership as well. On to today's show, we've got two videos that I'm going to show you from the news channels. The one from Sky News is from the mistaken release of a prisoner in the UK just 2 days ago. Appalling stuff as well. I think he managed to escape for 6 days before the government owned up to it, and it's all come out. So look, guys, crazy stuff. And we're also going to have an update on 3IATLAS for you as well, because NASA have confirmed at least one thing. So we're going to look at that. Without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so we're going to start on this Skywatch signal. Womp womp NASA. No tail. NASA have confirmed that there was no tail seen on 3IATLAS. In fact, it had a front-facing tail, and they did say, or did state, that Avi Loeb was correct regarding that. But they haven't released any of the information yet because of political reasons. Anna Paulina Luna basically says that there's a political reason behind it. In a nutshell, she's just found out probably why they haven't shown it yet, or she's been promised that it's coming. And the likelihood is it's coming because they can't hide this object the moment it pops out from behind the sun. It's going to be in clear view. So they're going to be shouting out what it is, guys, whether it's a rock or whether it's something else. I feel like it's something else. I have had that gut feeling. 60-40, I think that's going to start creeping up the scale based on what he's learned, but he's not going to say it because he's already getting a lot of pushback for saying what he said already, right? So he's not going to start saying, look, I'm leaning now towards 50-50, because people are going to be like, hey, it's a rock, mate, and they're going to just give him loads of stick. So he's going to hold on until we see something or hear about something else that's come about. At the moment, no further information, except it definitely didn't have a tail, and the acceleration, again, one other update, apart from the tail, the acceleration of this object did happen. Now, it happened on a very small scale. Okay, so it wasn't a massive acceleration boost, and like I said, if this thing comes out from behind the sun, they are half expecting it to glow with a huge tail behind it. If it is indeed a rock, it would have lost something like 20% mass, and it will just dwindle down to what would look like a comet, right? So fine, but if it doesn't, it goes from a 4 to a 10 straight away, guys. If it doesn't, there's no in between climbing that ladder. It just goes from a 4 to a flipping 10. Okay, and that's the concern. There's no in between. There's no gradual. The way this thing is coming in, and there's talk as well. Me and Skywatch Signal was talking about this the other day, how the object is actually going to be passing the sun and heading towards a bigger body, a bigger planet in Jupiter, I believe. And there's no reason, if this is artificial, at the speed that it's going at, there's no reason why it may continue on to Jupiter, slingshot round Jupiter and come back towards Earth just to slow down. I'm just putting it out there. Skywatch Signal said the same thing to me the other night, and it's a possibility. You know, it sounds crazy, but it's a possibility. So just putting that out there. There's no evidence of that yet, but the trajectory's right. The trajectory's right. So who knows? We'll update you as best we can, as and when we can. But let's move on. Okay, so like I said, this one was from 10 years ago. Coco News. So that's how long ago it was. I don't know if these guys are still going. But Oklahoma City of all places, guys. And I really want you guys to pay attention to this thing, because the next clip I'm going to show something very similar, but it happened 2 days ago in the UK. So let's have a look.
This is from our Grand Casino cam. Meteorologist Shelby Hayes in for Brad Sider. She's telling us it's going to be a little bit cooler today, but
just going to take that back a bit, guys. Look at this thing. It looks very, very tic-tacky, doesn't it? Very tic-tacky or saucer-shaped. Could even be James's UFO. Look at that. Look at that thing. Right, we just don't know what it is. It does look cylindrical, does look metallic, but it's dark, it's grainy. I don't really know. It's not flapping wings by the looks of it. There's some kind of distortion around it, but that's expected with nighttime footage, guys. But it also could have... That's crazy, eh? Look at that. And so...
a little bit cooler today, but still going to be a beautiful day.
I love it. I love it. Brilliant. Okay, on to the next one. And like I said, this one was just 2 days ago. Breaking news. A guy released out of jail by mistake. Second one or third one now in just a few weeks. At the moment, the UK are rather embarrassed by a few things. I just feel like there's a lot of people shouting civil war, and there's a lot of people screaming, and a lot of bots putting this ideology out there as well. Guys, I don't think the UK are going to have a civil war. I don't. I feel like there'll be a vote of no confidence, and I feel like we'll get a leadership change, right? I think that will happen. I feel like the people will protest, but there'll be minimal fighting, there'll be minimal everything. Okay, because we've never been like that. We've never been like that. If anything, we've been too accepting. And people are saying, look, you know, it's getting to a point where people are blowing up. It is. People will strike. People will stop working. People will push back eventually. But I don't think it's going to be a civil war. I really don't. Look, I don't go into all the policies. All I know is the UK is hurting at the moment. And we're hurting for different reasons. Mainly because we're just embarrassed as well. We're embarrassed by these incompetent people, these incompetent leaders. So that's just where we're at, guys. But let's have a look at this.
An offender is currently at large. We don't know where. We don't have details of his name.
That's very, very similar to what was captured in Oklahoma. A little bit more grainier even, this footage, and it's daytime. Again, news cameras, they're all the same. They're all set to not pick these things up properly. Like it's just not the best quality, and maybe it's a file thing, maybe it's a size thing. They just don't want to have large, they don't want to deal with high quality. But you would have thought by now that they would have the best quality if they're going to show public stuff. But it's always grainy, isn't it?
Where we don't have details of his name.
What do we think, guys? What do we think? UAP. I mean, it's only. I said this on one of my posts on Facebook, right? It can only be one of three things: a drone flying over the prison, okay, because this news is broke. But there's nothing really immediately happening over the prison, so I'm not sure if a drone would be flown over. Because of the airports around, I don't think that they would even be allowed to fly a drone over here. So there's that.
At large, we don't know where.
I mean, there's also the fact that it's not really flapping wings. I'm not seeing a normal bird would be seen flapping wings, right? And also, again, it's very hard to see, but to me it looks like this thing has managed to pass over the whole prison and then some within 3 seconds. If you look at the original clip, it looks like it's done the whole length of the prison within 3 seconds. Now maybe a bird going really fast could do that.
Currently at large, we don't know where. We don't have details of his name.
You see what I mean? Maybe a bird could do that if it was just on a downward dive, and it, you know, wings behind sort of thing on a downward dive. But I don't know. This is, again, strange stuff. The Oklahoma one I don't think was a bird at all. But let me know your thoughts in the comments on all of it. I've got one more thing I want to show you guys, and it's a clip that I took just the other week from the window. Let's get into it and I'll show you. Alright guys, so I had a friend over the other week and we was talking about UFOs and basically just catching up because I haven't seen her in like 6 years, right? So we was having a good catch up, and she was holding an S25 Ultra in her hand. And I was like, damn, I really want one of those phones because they've got amazing quality. The AI built into the camera for stabilization and stuff in focus is amazing, right? So here we are. She said, look, I'd love to capture a UFO. I said, pull your phone out then. I said, this is a hotspot. You just, you know, you don't know it yet, but this is a hotspot, right? I said, so pull your phone out and let's give it a go. And we did, and you can see there's fast movers zipping past. Wasn't quite enough to convince her, right? Of course not. It takes a while. It took Ben in Oklahoma a while. 6 months after he caught his first UAP on his first try as well. Tagged a plane, did it the next day, same thing, tagged a plane. Took him 6 months to really believe what he was seeing, and then he captured obviously that saucer several times over now. So yeah, lovely quality. This is my goal over the next few months, is to try and get me one of these. If I can, then the filming, the quality is going to be awesome. And it'll be awesome all over the place, no matter where I go as well. So that's the goal, guys. But there is something in this clip. Now you can see I've labelled it up here, 426 floater. Yeah, I don't know. I've caught this thing before. It looked like a leaf if for anyone that was watching on the live stream. But let's go to 426. Because it's, oh, there you go, fast mover. 424. Okay. What the hell is that? It comes in. Obviously there's UAP zipping past, right? But what the hell is this thing here? It's moving fast, it's fluttering around in the air. Almost disappearing at times as well. Look at that. And this, I've seen this before, guys. I've seen this before. It was quite a bit closer as well, between the buildings, so we managed to get a close-up of it, but because it was closer to the lens, we got less of it. It fluttered down a lot quicker. So, you know, this camera is actually pointing upwards from the tree line, which is rare for me to do, and I'm glad I did it because this thing shows itself from up there. And I do believe this thing is flying around out there all the time. This is the one that I've recorded before. I feel like it is, but I also feel like this is the saucer cloaked, and we've seen it before. Again, Ben in Oklahoma has captured something very similar. Looked more white than it did dark, but it was fluttering around like this, exactly like that, guys. And so it does. I'm not concerned, but sometimes I sit here and I think, Jesus, I've got UFOs flying around outside my window. You know, sometimes I sit here, I'm not concerned, but sometimes I sit here and I think, I've actually got UFOs flying outside my window here. And I do. It's only a matter of time before I capture something similar to what Ben's captured. I do believe that. It's because this is why it's important that everyone records the skies, guys, because it gives us something to match and something to analyse against, you know. I can never say for sure what something is, or even take a guess, unless I've seen something similar in the past. And that's why I can tell you that that object that we just saw there was very similar to Ben's. Very similar. For the simple fact that it looked almost the same in its movement. It was flickering from white to black, sometimes invisible in 1 or 2 frames. And if Ben in Oklahoma can see that tagging a plane, a military plane, and I can get the same object flying just 200 yards away from me, then it means it's a something. It really is a something, guys. And like I said, during this time, you can see the tree in the bottom left there. There's a bit of wind, but it's not very windy, guys, at all. And you can see there's no leaves being blown into the air. You know, it was just that one object. Very strange. Captured it before on a less windier day. There was no wind at all. It was very weird. It was very elegantly moving. I use the word elegant because, well, I'll just take you back to the moment, guys. It does look very, very strange. Look at this thing. Crazy. Crazy stuff. Oh, look at that stop there. Look at that. Is that what the object is right there? You know? And then look. And then it looks like a blooming bent leaf, and very, very unorthodox. Very, very unorthodox. But it is a UAP, guys. And these things can, like I say, they can go big, small. I think at this distance, if it's anywhere near that tree, I would say it's about 180 to 210 yards away. That thing will be the size of a basketball. Making some crazy ass manoeuvres like that, and crazy ass. Well, it looks like it's morphing, doesn't it? I'm not saying it is morphing, but it looks like it's morphing. In reality, it's probably just cloaking, decloaking, cloaking, decloaking. You know. So, guys, let me know all your thoughts in the comments. Please keep recording the skies, and please keep supporting the channel. I love in the comments, guys, and feel free to ask any questions. If you've got any questions at all, please just go ahead and ask. If I can answer them, I will. There are many people out there recording, many other channels as well, trying their best to get this information out there. And all we can do, guys, honestly, it's totally in our hands, but all we need to do is watch. If you agree with what we're seeing and agree with what we're saying, share the videos and just put us on the map. Put the public on the map, because it's public disclosure that will push this at the end of the day. We don't, you know, why should we wait and wait and wait just to get disappointed every single time from the government? Guys, let's take it into our own hands. Thank you very much for your time. Like and subscribe as always, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye bye for now.